Hi guys, it's Louise from Geek Dioramas, and I thought I'd show you my new finished commission piece, which is a Walking Dead themed diorama. With this piece, it was commissioned to be going into a IKEA glass Detolf unit. So anybody who has got one of those units knows that obviously it is quite restrictive in space. And the client wanted a prison theme, and they particularly really wanted a prison tower, a watchtower of some form on the piece. And it's quite difficult actually, because not only are we restricted across this way in a Detolf shelf unit, we're also restricted in height. And so it was a little bit of a mission really to get this to look right scale wise, and obviously it isn't in proportion at all really, because obviously if it was, it would be a lot taller. But you know, considering the space that I had, I think I've done a pretty good job. I'm really pleased with the outcome of it, as is the client. I haven't actually got any Walking Dead figures. I never seem to have any figures that go with the dioramas that I'm making, purely because I mainly collect Star Wars and sort of Rocky figures, so they don't really go with a lot of dioramas. But I have got a 5-inch figure, which is a Doctor Who figure, which is what I used for scale. And so by placing him on there, it can kind of give you an idea of size that we went for. So basically with this piece, I decided to do the prison watchtower, and what I thought also would be quite a cool idea was to have the fencing one side, which the client can pop his zombie figures, and then obviously we have the prison scene on this side. The whole piece is actually modular, believe it or not. So in fact, for shipping it will be a lot easier, because I mean this is quite a piece too if it was all a complete piece. So the great thing is that the fence actually is placed into the base, so we can take that out and it will lay flat. As regards the watchtower, I haven't actually I've glued obviously each section, but I've not glued each section to each other. So if I just show you, the roof comes off, which leaves the little cabin part there, which is good because I didn't want to add the roof to it, because then it means that the figure can be placed inside as well, or figures as such. Okay, so that's that. And then the cabin part, or the watchtower part here, this piece actually comes off as well. Okay, so if you have a look at this, you can kind of then see a little bit better the paintwork on it, because it seems to be quite dark when you've got the roof on it. Okay, so that's that part. And then the platform is another part. Okay, oops, as we break it all, let's put that down there. And then this part here, I'm not going to take it out because I have to use 2 hands, and that means I'd have to put the phone down. But this piece here just comes out, and this is I've cut a hole into the base so it sits in. Okay, so it's quite versatile on that one. So again, it's just placing it on and squaring it up. And then we've got the door, like a style door there. You can, I mean, it can be put around whatever way a person wants to put it. And then we'll put it like that. And then the roof just slots on the top. So that's how I decided to do that piece. So A, for shipping it would be easier, and also it will be easier for the client to use and add as figures to the scene. Regarding the grass part here, this is just modelling grass that we can get, wargaming type stuff, that or model railway, which I've collected lots of different bits over the past few months. I basically first used polyfiller and sort of gave it sort of a rough look to it. And then I just basically done a watered down glue solution and then started with a brown, and then I'd done the patches of darker green, and then I finished with the lighter green, and then added a bit more sort of the brown stuff here, and then finished it with some little tufts of different grasses here, and some little bits of stone here as well. So it kind of gives it that sort of dried, scorched type look to the grass. And then on this side, I've basically just added a few little bits of grass tufts to it to make it kind of look deserted and not being used for a while. Regards to fencing, I used balsa dowels, which I obviously cut down and glued. And then the netting part, or this part here, I used gutter guard, which I always use now. It's so cheap. You can get a roll of gutter guard for something like, I think it's something like £3.50 on eBay for a roll, and I'm still using it. It goes on and on and on, so that stuff is really cool. And then the sort of the stuff along the top here, they're sort of they call it barbed wire or electricity type thing. I used picture wire actually. I had some picture wire, and I thought I'd rather use it than not use it, because I like to use things up. So it was a bit of a pig to thread through, I will be honest. I've had a little hint since then about using cake wire for cake decorations, so I'm going to try that next time. But it's pretty cool. And then what I did was I spray painted the whole. Before I spray painted it, I'll calm down a bit. I used cable ties to keep the netting to the balsa dowels. I'll get my words out in a moment. So I done that, and then I spray painted the whole thing a sort of gunmetal silver, which I think looks pretty cool. Regards to tower, I kind of based it as closely as I could to the Walking Dead tower. Obviously, I can't do it exactly because I couldn't do it in scale, so I couldn't do a pitched roof. I have had to do a flat style roof, but I still think that looks pretty good. And I actually used WWE guards for around the edge, which I've kind of added a little bit more weathering to. I had some already, and some very good friends of mine helped me out to get a further 2. So I managed to do all 4 to go around the edge. And then also I had this little prop thing here in my box, and I thought that would look pretty cool on the corner of the watchtower of a sort of a spotlight. So I just kind of weathered it down a little bit more than what it was. We can get the focus working on here. There we go. So I just weathered it a little bit more than it was. Okay, and yeah, so that's basically it. And then with the watchtower, what I did is obviously base coated it grey, and then again I've had my weathering to it. No airbrush used. A lot of people ask me if I use airbrush. I don't actually use airbrush. I've not ventured into using an airbrush yet. I just find I don't need to at the moment. I don't feel it will actually enhance my work in any way at this moment in time. I'm not saying that I won't use one, but at this moment in time, I don't feel it's going to actually, it's not going to actually enhance my work in any way. I don't feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody can tell me. Maybe I should try it. But at the moment, I'm really happy with what I use. And I use basically all acrylic paints. And I sometimes use pastels to weather, soft pastel, and I also use inks. This one I mainly used inks to weather it. My usual browns and blacks to weather up. And I think it kind of gives a very similar effect to airbrushing, because a lot of people ask me if I airbrushed my work, because it looks kind of airbrushed. But yeah, that's what I'm using at the moment, and I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, so that's basically the piece at the moment, and that one will be shipped off hopefully by the weekend, and we're on to the next one. So thanks guys for your continued support, your continued sort of giving feedback on my work. I'm really appreciative. I just can't believe in the last 6 months how my work has just changed. And a lot of you guys that are following me and subscribe to my channel, a lot of people you guys are the ones that inspire me. L Figures, Judy, you all know, you guys kind of like inspire me, and it's such a great community to be part of, the Dio scene. So yeah, okay, so that's that one finished for now, and I'm on to the next, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.